Most people don't realize that sexual desire doesn't begin in the body at all. It begins quietly in the mind, shaped by feelings we often ignore or misunderstand. What you think turns you on may actually be the final step of a much deeper emotional process. Psychology explains why two people can experience the same physical situation and feel completely different levels of desire. One feels drawn in, alive, and connected. The other feels distant, distracted, or numb. The difference is not physical attraction alone. It is emotional safety, meaning, and context. By the end of this exploration, you will understand why sexual desire is shaped more by emotions than by appearance, technique, or opportunity. You will also begin to see your own patterns more clearly, without judgment, and with a sense of curiosity instead of confusion. Sexual desire evolved as a bonding mechanism, not just a biological urge. From a psychological perspective, desire is the brain's way of signaling safety, connection, and relevance. The brain must first decide that a situation feels emotionally secure before the body can respond fully. This is why stress is one of the biggest killers of desire. When the brain is overwhelmed, it shifts into survival mode. In that state, pleasure becomes secondary. Desire fades not because attraction is gone, but because the nervous system is protecting itself. Think about moments when you felt most drawn to someone. Often, it was not during chaos or pressure. It was during moments of calm, laughter, or emotional closeness. That is not coincidence. That is the brain responding to emotional alignment. Attraction often begins with curiosity, not arousal. Curiosity activates the brain's reward system. When you feel seen, understood, or emotionally stimulated, dopamine is released. That chemical does not just create pleasure, it creates anticipation. Anticipation is one of the strongest drivers of desire. Emotional anticipation builds slowly. A meaningful conversation, a shared vulnerability, or a sense of being chosen all increase desire more effectively than physical cues alone. This raises an important question. When desire fades, is it truly gone, or has emotional connection quietly weakened? Many people assume something is wrong with them or their partner, when the real issue is emotional disconnection. The brain associates desire with meaning. If an interaction feels empty, rushed, or emotionally flat, the brain reduces its investment. Desire cannot thrive where meaning feels absent. Emotional safety plays a critical role here. The brain constantly scans for signs of judgment, rejection, or pressure. If those signals are present, even subtly, desire shuts down. This happens unconsciously, without deliberate choice. This is why feeling pressured to want sex often has the opposite effect. Pressure creates anxiety. Anxiety tells the brain that the environment is unsafe. The body responds by closing off, not opening up. Consider how desire changes in long-term relationships. Early attraction is fueled by novelty and mystery. Over time, novelty fades, but emotional depth can replace it. When emotional intimacy grows, desire can deepen rather than disappear. However, if emotional needs are ignored, resentment quietly builds. Resentment is one of the strongest inhibitors of desire. The brain cannot feel attraction towards someone it feels emotionally disconnected from or misunderstood by. This explains why unresolved conflict affects intimacy long after the argument ends. Even when people believe they have moved on, the emotional residue remains. The brain remembers emotional wounds more vividly than physical details. Now think about how self-image affects desire. Desire is not only about how you see your partner, it is also about how you feel about yourself. When self-esteem is low, desire often drops. This happens because desire requires a sense of worthiness. If someone feels unattractive, unvalued, or emotionally depleted, the brain does not prioritize pleasure. It prioritizes self-protection. This may sound surprising, but desire often increases when people feel emotionally supported in non-sexual ways. Being listened to, validated, and respected builds emotional safety. That safety creates the foundation for desire to emerge naturally. Ask yourself this quietly. When was the last time you felt deeply understood by someone? That feeling alone can reignite desire more powerfully than physical stimulation. The brain links emotional connection with reward. Oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, is released during moments of trust and closeness. Oxytocin strengthens emotional attachment and increases receptivity to intimacy. This is why desire follows emotional intimacy rather than preceding it. Many people wait to feel desire before seeking closeness. In reality, closeness often creates desire. Another overlooked factor is emotional novelty. Desire thrives on emotional stimulation, not just physical variety. New conversations, shared goals, or fresh emotional experiences activate the brain's reward circuits. Routine without emotional engagement can dull desire, not because routine is bad, but because the brain craves emotional significance. Without it, desire becomes muted. There is also a cultural myth that desire should be spontaneous and constant. This belief causes unnecessary shame. In reality, desire is responsive. It responds to emotional cues, environment, and internal state. When people believe something is wrong because desire fluctuates, they add pressure. Pressure, again, signals danger to the brain. The cycle continues and desire retreats further. Emotional presence is another critical factor. Being physically present but emotionally distracted reduces desire. The brain notices when attention is divided. Desire requires a sense of being fully seen in the moment. Think about how technology affects intimacy. Constant distraction trains the brain to stay alert and fragmented. That mental state is incompatible with desire, which requires focus and emotional immersion. Desire also reflects how safe someone feels expressing themselves. If someone fears rejection or judgment, they may suppress desire unconsciously. The brain avoids vulnerability when it expects emotional pain. This brings us to an important insight. Desire is not something you force, it is something you allow. Allowing desire means creating emotional conditions where it can emerge naturally. This does not mean ignoring physical factors. Physical attraction matters, but it is filtered through emotional interpretation. The same physical touch can feel inviting or intrusive depending on emotional context. Notice how desire changes depending on mood. When someone feels relaxed, appreciated, and emotionally connected, desire feels effortless. When they feel stressed or emotionally distant, desire feels unreachable. Another question to reflect on is this: do you associate desire with obligation or with choice? Obligation reduces desire. Choice enhances it. The brain responds differently when intimacy feels chosen rather than expected. Desire also evolves over time. What felt exciting in one stage of life may feel different in another. Emotional needs change. Desire adapts to those needs rather than disappearing. Understanding this removes blame. It shifts the focus from fixing desire to understanding emotions. When emotions are addressed, desire often follows naturally. Sexual desire is shaped by emotional narratives we carry. Past experiences, trust history, and emotional memories all influence how the brain responds to intimacy. Someone who felt emotionally safe in past relationships may experience desire more freely. Someone who felt judged or rejected may struggle with desire even when attraction exists. This is not a flaw. It is the brain learning from experience. Once you recognize this, compassion replaces frustration. Desire is also influenced by feeling valued. When someone feels appreciated beyond their physical presence, desire deepens. Feeling used or overlooked weakens it. This explains why emotional neglect affects intimacy even when physical attraction remains. The brain needs to feel emotionally nourished to stay engaged. As we come closer to the core truth, it becomes clear that desire is a dialogue between emotions and biology. Biology provides the capacity. Emotions decide when and how it is expressed. When people stop chasing desire and start nurturing emotional connection, something shifts. Desire becomes less demanding and more responsive. This understanding invites a gentler approach. Instead of asking why desire is gone, ask what emotions are present. Curiosity opens doors that pressure keeps closed. In the end, sexual desire is not a test of attraction or love. It is a reflection of emotional alignment, safety, and meaning. When those are present, desire feels natural. When they are absent, desire waits. If this perspective resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your own emotional patterns. Notice how your feelings shape your sense of desire more than you may have realized.